So pretty basic. I'm going to use some avocado oil for my egg omelet deal here. Just a bit of that. And my pan was already heating up, so I'm going to get my vegetables going. So I already had some chopped up onions. Just going to use a few of those. Some of the peppers. Just a few. Not much, just a few of the bell peppers to get that going. I might want to add a little bit more onion simply because you guys know I love red onion. So I think I'm just going to add just a little bit more. We'll let that get translucent and do its thing. So I chopped up one slice of the deli ham. We'll give that a head start and let that get all nice and toasty. And next up, I just cracked my egg. Nothing major, and just took my brown egg, cracked it up, put some pepper and a little bit of garlic. Scrambled it a little bit. And next, I'm just going to add it to the mix. And we'll spread that around the pan. I can opt to leave it as an omelet, or you may want to break it up a bit. So it's totally up to you. I'm going to leave mine and make it as an omelet versus breaking it up and making it scrambled. Right? And I'm going to sprinkle. This is only, guys, this is only a ½ ounce of shredded cheese. Just a ½ ounce. Believe it or not. It's just that it's shredded large. This is the 4-state cheddar cheese. And now I'm just going to, I really should have my other spatula, but I don't. And I'm just going to fold it over. Like so. I like my egg to have a little brownness to it, so that's why I'm leaving it on one side more, so I have a better spatula. Now, I'm not the perfect egg flipper, so don't judge me. But there you are. I love that. See, and the caramelization of the onions, that's what I love. So I'm just going to leave it on this side for a hot second. I'm going to transfer it right onto this plate. And there you have it. Breakfast is served. And so I'm going to add just a couple of slices of apple. It's actually like a quarter. I quartered an apple, so I sliced that in half. And I'm going to add that to my omelet. And that gives me my full 4 ounces. Plus, it gives me some additional fiber. And I do need to get the additional fiber in my diet. So this will be my breakfast. So today I'm starting off with some breakfast. I already had my protein coffee. So my first meal of the day, it's about 1:30. And so I'm just going to have a tortilla wrap. I'm going to have half of this Extreme Wellness High Fiber Keto Low Carb wrap. As you can see, the dietary fiber is really great with fiber, and it's only 50 calories for one. I'm going to have half of it. So everything that you see here will be split in half. It's only 4 grams net carbs, which I'm going to be having 2 of because, again, I'm splitting it in half. No sugar, no hydrogenated oil, no trans fat, and it has extra virgin olive oil. So I love these. And like I said, these are keto friendly. I'm going to have egg whites. I'm going to use some Smart Balance. It does support healthy cholesterol levels, so I'm going to utilize that. And as you see what the calories and the nutrition is with that in terms of the saturated fat and the total carbs and the calories. So this is really good, and I love the flavor. And I'm going to use some spring onions. I do have some fresh ones, but I'm going to use these dried ones. And I'm going to have some mild cheddar cheese. And I'm going to add some uncured turkey bacon. I like the uncured turkey bacon because it does not have any nitrates or nitrites added, and it's not preserved. So I really do like this bacon, any particular brand, but I do like the uncured. So it's a great taste, and it's just better for you. So that's my 2 cents on that. And as always, I show you the nutrition facts. So you see that one slice does have 45 calories. I'll be eating about 2 slices, and it's only 2.5 with the fat. So everything would be double in terms of the fat and the cholesterol and the sodium, no carbs, and great protein, 10 grams of protein I'm going to be having. And it even has some potassium, as you see. So let's go ahead and get it started. And like I said, I'm only eating half of a tortilla. I don't eat the entire one. It's just too much for me, so I will be eating half of this one, and also putting it in the pan just to brown it a little bit. I like mine warm, and these are raw, not to say that you couldn't eat it that way, but I just like to have mine warmed up and a little toasted, a little brown on both sides. Let's check on our bacon. Now, just as far as our egg whites go, you see that it does say 2 tablespoons is equal to 1 large egg white. That's what I'm going to have. And so you guys know I love my shot glass. I'm not a drinker, but I just use it because it does have the ounces and the teaspoons and the tablespoons. So I will be filling it up to the 2 tablespoons, and that's going to equal the 1 large egg white. So that's what I'm going to have. A little bit over 2 tablespoons. So let's go ahead and get some of our Smart Balance into the pan. And I'm just going to use that much. And we'll go ahead and get that melted, because I'm going to not only use it to cook the egg white, but I'm going to use it also, the remainder in there, for my tortilla. So we go ahead on and pour our egg white in. No reason, rhyme, form, or fashion. Just go ahead and pour it in, because we're just going to flip it over anyway. So I'm just going to spread it out just a little bit more. Just spread it out instead of keeping it uniform. And I'm just going to sprinkle a little garlic powder. It's all about flavorings for me, so a little garlic powder. A little onion powder. Got to watch out with this onion powder because it'll come out really heavy. A little ground black pepper. A little ground black pepper. Well, a lot of it. And then I'm going to add a little of the spring onion. I do have the onion powder, so I don't want to put too much. Just a hint of it is enough for me, right? And egg whites don't take long at all to cook. So we'll flip that over and just sprinkle a little bit of cheddar on one side. And I'm going to fold it over to one side, and then take my tortilla and get that heated up. And it doesn't take too long. I'm going to turn my heat off because it's basically done. Flip my tortilla over. Like I said, just want to heat that up just for a few seconds. You see it's turning brown, and it does have some of the Smart Balance on both sides, so that'll give it some extra flavor. So that is it, guys. It's ready to assemble. So I'm just going to get everything plated up. our tortilla. Our 2 strips of bacon, turkey bacon. Next up is our egg whites. And there it is, guys. Pretty simple. And what I like to do is just fold it up. Now, some may opt to fold it the long way, but I just fold it up this way. And like I said, I'm one-handing everything. So I just fold it up this way. You see that's nice and crispy. And just to show you what it looks like, bon appetit. Let me get a taste test. You heard that crunch. That's delicious, guys. Let me go and finish the rest of this, and I'll see you for my next meal. I neglected to tell you that I'm eating some blueberries and some blackberries along with my wrap here for my first meal. So that's my meal. See you for meal number 2, or a snack if I should decide to have one in between dinner. I've been meaning to get to this recipe, so I'm glad I was finally able to take the time to record this for you. So what we're going to be doing today is chickpea salad. Yes, chickpea salad. So I'm going to get right down to it. But before I do, make sure if you are your first time watching me, please make sure you subscribe. You're subscribed to the channel. It's easy to do. Just click the subscribe button and make sure you give this video a thumbs up. It is so easy to do, and that's the way to support the channel. And thank you so much to everyone who is supporting this channel by commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing. You guys rock. Love you guys. Thank you so much for all of your support. Continue on to do so. So I'm going to take these rings off, and then we're going to get going. So for the ingredients, you see I do have some chickpeas here, and the chickpeas are rinsed and drained. And then we also have some red onions. This is an organic, look how large this cucumber is. This is an organic cucumber. You see it was laying down, and look how large it is. This is from a friend of mine's garden. I did get some zucchini, some collard greens, and some cucumbers from him. So shout out to him. And so we're going to be using that cucumber. We're going to be using some fresh Italian parsley, some tomatoes, some fresh garlic, and some red onions. We're going to be using some black pepper, a little bit of pink Himalayan salt. I don't have fresh lemon, but I do have the lemon juice, so we're going to use that. Some ground coriander. We're going to be using some cumin. We're going to be using some red wine vinegar. And we're going to be using some EVOO, okay? And I'm also going to throw in, the recipe doesn't call for that I found, but because I love feta, we're going to add some feta cheese into this as well. I tell you, feta is like one of my favorite cheeses. Does anybody else love feta? Let me know. Drop that down in the comments. So we're going to get started, and we're going to do the dressing first, because we want to do the dressing and have that sitting aside and let those flavors marry. So let's move this out of the way. Let's move that out of the way, and let's get to the dressing. So we're going to be using a mason jar, and I'm going to, have that sitting in there. When I make my dressings, I usually put it in the mason jar, or I have like a empty juice bottle, that I have a juice container. But today we're going to use the mason jar. It'll preserve it really good. So let's get it. So we're going to take a 1.5 tablespoons, and it calls for sherry vinegar, but I don't have sherry vinegar, so I'm just going to use what I have, improvise, make it my own, and use the red wine vinegar. So it calls for 1.5 tablespoons, so let's get that in there. I actually should have removed the cap so it would come out a little bit faster, but that's okay. Give me time to talk to you guys. How are you guys doing? What's going on in your world? What have you been doing? How's the weather? What part of the world are you watching me from? Drop it in the comments. You guys know I always like to see that. So this is 1.5 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. I was about to say sherry vinegar, but red wine vinegar. And it does call for a zest of half a lemon. If I had a lemon, I would put the zest in, but I don't, so I'm just going to put the 2 tablespoons of the lemon juice in here. And let's get that in. Same thing with that. It has a little squeeze bottle, so I can squeeze it, oops, and it'll come out a little bit quicker than me shaking it out. So it has 1, and it calls for 2. So we're just going to put 2. I'm not going to put anything extra in there because I don't have the lemon zest. I'm just going to leave it at 2. And that'll be good enough for me. And then the recipe calls for 1/4 cup of EVOO. So let's get a 1/4 cup. And let's fill that up with the, oh, that's 1/8 of a cup. Here's a 1/4 cup. EVOO. Let's see, I do have some EVOO left over, so that should be a 1/4 cup. But if not, I will use my other container. So let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. I like to sing as I cook. You know, cooking makes you happy. You gotta make yourself happy, and if cooking makes you happy, then be happy. Sing on. Anybody else out there happy? Happy feelings, happy spirits. Keep everything going. Happiness reduces stress. So we have enough stress on us. So, you know, make yourself happy. Sing a little bit. Why don't you while you cook? And so that's the EVOO. So we're not going to need the extra. We'll put that back. And then it does call for a teaspoon of castor sugar. I've never used castor sugar. Don't have castor sugar. I'm not going to put any sugar in. I could put some monk fruit sweetener to make it sweeter, but I'm not. I'm just going to do without any sweetness, any honey or anything like that. And then it does call for the smashed garlic clove. So we're going to get that going, and we're going to smash the garlic clove. Boom. Boy, I really did smash that, didn't I? Okay, we'll smash that garlic clove, get the peel off of it. One of these days I'm going to use my garlic press. I tell you, I have a garlic press and I don't even use it. What a waste, right? I guess I just like to slice and dice and things of that nature. So it does say smash, but you see that I'm cutting it, right? Oh my goodness. I can't even follow instructions, guys. So let's go ahead and smash that. And it'll release the actual garlic. So, go ahead and smash, so it's all smashed and smushed and stuff. So that's that. Let's get rid of that trash. And then it does call for a little salt and pepper, so we'll just use just a tad bit. You guys know I don't really use salt, but sometimes, you know, the pink Himalayan salt I will use. So I'm just really going to put just a pinch of it in there, and you see that is so minute there. And if I put it in my hand, look at how much salt that is. Next to nothing. Just to give it a little flavor here, we'll put a little pinch of that. And then we'll put some pepper. I don't have fresh ground pepper. I don't get into that. I just haven't. Not that I'm against it, I just haven't. So just put a little pepper in that, and there it is. And now we're just going to take and put the cap on that. And we'll shake it all up, stir it all up, shake it all up, shaky, 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 shaky. Oh, there it is. And there you have, sorry guys, your vinaigrette garlic dressing. I bet you this is going to taste so good as it looks. Look at that. You see the garlic, you see the spices that are in there. And we'll just shake it up, and we'll leave that to the side. And we'll come back to it. You can choose to refrigerate it, but I'm just going to leave it at room temperature. Okay. All right. So that is done. And so now let's go ahead and get to the salad. All right. And so now we placed the chickpeas already. They're washed. They're already 1 can of chickpeas. It calls for 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. So let's get 1 teaspoon together, and let's get our ground cumin, teaspoon of ground cumin. I love cumin. Do you guys love cumin? It smells good. I love cumin. I love Middle Eastern cooking. So I'm just going to put a teaspoon of the ground cumin in there. I'll just put that extra. It's not much, but sometimes I don't like a lot of cumin. So because I'm not making a lot of the chickpea, because you know it's just for the VSG girl, that's me, and you know how I eat, and it's not a lot, and I don't want anything to go to waste, so I can always make more. All right. And so it does call for 1.5 teaspoons of allspice, to which I don't have, and it does call for some ground cardamom, to which I don't have, but I do have some coriander, some ground coriander. So I'm just going to shake a little bit in there. I'm just going to improvise on the flavors, but for the true Middle Eastern flavor, I thought I had some cardamom, but when I look, I have marjoram, no cardamom. Oh my goodness. I can't believe that I don't have that, and I really thought that I do. Actually, one moment, let me look in the cabinet here. Be right back. All right, so I'm back. So after careful scouring of my spice cabinet, I did not have any cardamom. That's something I'm going to have to get, and a little bit of allspice, although I don't use it a lot. And I thought I did, but look what I have, garam masala. So, oh well, so much for that. I thought I had some other type of Middle Eastern or Indian spice, but it was not. All right, so it does also call for a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We'll use, again, just a tad of the salt because I don't like a lot of salt. And that's what we're going to do in terms of the chickpea spices. So now what we're going to do, we scattered over the spices, and we're just going to toss it just to coat it with all of the different seasonings. And now it does say that next what we're going to do is we're going to actually heat I can't even talk. We're actually going to heat 2 tablespoons of olive oil in a large pan, and then over high heat we're going to fry these chickpeas for a couple of minutes. All right, so let's go ahead and get that together. All right, and so we're back, and so next up what we're going to do is take our chickpeas that we have seasoned here in the bowl, and we have in our pan, we already have 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And so now that it's heated up, we're going to get our chickpeas to actually frying status and get them all browned and a little bit softer texture. How many of you out there love chickpeas? I actually love chickpeas, and I love, chickpeas, and the Caribbeans will call it chana. They're garbanzo beans or chickpeas, however you want to refer them as. All 3 are the same, but they are good, they are healthy, and I love them. All right, and so we're checking on our chickpeas that have been frying in this olive oil, this pan, and they are ready. You just don't want to brown them up too much. So I'm just going to transfer these into a bowl and let them cool, and then we're going to work on our salad part. All right, guys, and so we're back at our station here, and so I've transferred the chickpeas into a bowl, and we're letting them cool. They're nice and warm, so we'll set those off to the side and let them cool, and we'll work on continuing our salad. So I just chopped up the large cucumber that you saw me with earlier, and what I'm doing is saving a few slices because I want to put some in some water and let it get infused. So I'll put those off to the side and let those sit there. All right, and so you see I've chopped up the cucumbers into nice pieces, and I'm going to chop up my tomatoes here as well as my red onion. I'm going to dice just a few pieces of it here that I randomly had saved over from another recipe. So let's get those. Let's get these cucumbers into this bowl here and get that out of the way. So just transfer these nice, fresh, organic. It's nothing like organic vegetables. If you guys know anyone that has a farm or has a garden, please support your local farmers and go out to your farmers market and support the local farmers who actually do grow things on their own farm instead of getting it shipped from goodness knows where and has goodness knows what in it, right? And then we'll just take our onion and just, roughly chop it up. I have pieces. Usually I have a whole onion or half an onion, and you dice it all nice and pretty, but sometimes you don't have that. You just want to give things a rough chop and just, throw it over in the bowl. When you're cooking at home, you're cooking with love. That's the main thing, right? We're not trying to be on the Food Network, well, yet, but hey, Food Network, if you're listening out there, I'm available. Just look me up, Brooklyn Stace. Look in the description box for my email. Business inquiries only, guys. If you want to email me with business inquiries. If you want to just ask a basic question, go ahead and drop it in the comment section and ask a question, or you can ask the question via Instagram. My Instagram is Brooklyn Stace and the number 2. And I say this all the time, guys, I've got to get better, with social media, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook and all of that stuff, but it's very, very, as you know, time consuming. And I'm doing a lot of other things here, a lot of other ventures. So let's get this over here. A lot of other ventures. And so it does take up some time, and I have less time for social media. And then editing these videos, guys. I don't think you guys know what goes into making and editing these videos. For those of you that are YouTubers, you guys know, but for those of you who are not and haven't ventured into being a content creator, you guys really have no idea. And so that's why we always say, hey, we work hard, and if you're doing it on your own and you don't have anyone editing your videos, you're working long hours here. You're taking a lot of time. And that's why a lot of people just go live and forget about it. Or that's why a lot of people don't even edit. However it comes out is however it comes out. So that's why we say, the support that you can show for us is to, like the video, thumbs up the video. And and show your love for us for doing all of this hard work, because that it is, guys. All right, so you see I'm just chopping up, rough chopping or slicing the tomato. I could slice it in half like this and then give it another slice. So however you would like to slice it, if you want it in smaller pieces, you can do it this way, or you can do it the other way like I just had it. Whatever floats your boat, right? Whatever toots your fancy. There's more than one way to skin a cat. And I got to stop saying that, because skinning a cat is horrible. I don't know who came up with that phrase, but I've got to think of something else. There's just more than one way to do things. How about that? I'm going to make a conscious effort to not say skinning a cat, because that's so horrible. Oh my gosh. And I love animals. So I'm going to make a conscious effort to not say that. Okay. So forgive me. Guys, forgive me, because I don't mean to be mean in any way, shape, or form when I say that, okay? I love animals. Did I say I love animals? Okay, I'll say it again for the record. I love animals. All right, and so our tomatoes are done. I'm going to just put that small amount of onions, because red onions are very strong and very powerful. But if tomorrow I find that it's not enough onions for me, even though I love onions, well then I'll add some more. And I love this. This is cute. This is from Temu. Guys, I did a review on this. Go check out my kitchen hauls in the playlist, and you'll see this from Temu. All right. And so it does call for some parsley and some coriander leaves, aka cilantro. So we're going to get this washed up and then get it, we're going to get these leaves washed up. It calls for 1/4 cup of each. So we're going to get it washed up and chopped up. All right, so we've got our parsley and our cilantro washed. So let's just go ahead and dry that off some more. Get as much moisture as we can off of it. But, it's okay to have some moisture, because that only helps with the seasonings adhering to it. So, they kind of look the same, right? You ever notice that parsley and cilantro kind of resemble one another? But the dead giveaway, of course, is the smell. And it, you see it does look different, right? Like this is the cilantro leaf and this is the parsley leaf, and you see it does look similar, but we all know the smell of the parsley. And that's why I like to leave some of the stems on, because it does give it an additional flavor that I do like. So yeah, I should have had my sharper knife for this, because this is not the sharpest knife, or the knife that I use to, cut things finely. But you know what? This works well. We're going to make it work, because guess what? It is still a sharp knife, and I could have sharpened it even more before I utilized it. But see, it's doing its thing. And that's something, how I'm chopping it up. I wish you guys could smell the aroma from the parsley, and it's just releasing the aroma. and it smells so good, and it smells so nice and fresh, and you know, it's organic. This is organic spices. How many of you guys out there grow your own spices? Do you do that? You know, my uncle has a little planter outside, like a little mini greenhouse looking kind of thing he puts on his patio, and he has his own spices. My uncle, he's been doing farming sort of, even in New York City, even in Brooklyn, guys. There was a field out near where King's Plaza is. If you're from Brooklyn, you know where King's Plaza is. It's out in Mill Basin, and they had like a little plot of land, and you could, you know, purchase some and grow your own veggies. And he started there. So, you know, once he retired from the fire department, shout out to my Uncle Andrew. And so once he retired from the fire department in Harlem, he worked about a block away from, a couple of blocks and around the corner on Morningside Avenue. If you know where Morningside is in Harlem, you know, drop it in the comments. So maybe some of you live over there. He retired from the fire department. I think it was engine 40, because their saying was life begins at 40. So I have a cake that I got for him for his birthday, and I had someone make a cake with the patch, his like firefighter patch, and he was so emotional about it, you know what I mean? But don't tell him I said so. But anyway, he always had fresh veggies and things of that nature. When he moved, he continued on with the fresh vegetables, and so his collard greens are just to die for. His vegetables are to die for, and they're fresh. You know, they're organic. So support your local farmers, whether you know them or not. Support them because it's healthier for you. All right. So we've chopped up our coriander and our parsley, or AKA our cilantro, and our parsley. So we chopped that up and we've added it to the bowls. Look how pretty that is. You know, eating fresh, eating healthy. You see the purple or the red onions, the fresh tomatoes, the coriander, the parsley, and of course those lovely cucumbers. All right. And so that is it in terms of the salad items, although I'm going to add some feta cheese in mine. So I'll add that last. But what I'm going to do now is just, you know, toss up the veggies, and that makes it even look pretty. Look at that. Look at that, guys. This smells so good. Oh my goodness, this smells good. I can't even tell you. And these are not with any seasonings. This is just the herbs, which are the natural seasonings. And this looks and smells good. Now you can add more onions, you can add more tomatoes, but I am not, because that is just my preference. You make it the way that you would like to make it. All right. And so now that we've mixed all of that up together, so now it's time to come back to the salad dressing. Remember, we had that sitting aside for about 20 minutes so the garlic and the spices and the seasonings can marinate and marry together. So let's open it and see what we have. So we're going to just drizzle some of this. Let's smell it. It smells good. And this is what it's looking like, guys. And it smells really, really good. Now tomorrow, of course, you know, the next day it's going to be even better because that fresh cut and smashed garlic is really going to have a chance to marinate in there. So I'm just going to drizzle this with some of this dressing, little drizzle. And I actually have the garlic in there, to which I am actually going to leave that garlic in there. Actually, I'm probably just going to scoop out just a few cloves. I don't want to have too many cloves in there, although I like garlic. So it does have a few cloves randomly in there, and that'll help infuse it even more. All right. Now, what I could do is just transfer all of this into a bowl, but, you know, and just make it pretty and toss it with the chickpeas and lay things on the side and, you know, make it all look nice and pretty. And just for presentation's sake, I may do just that. Because, you know, in the end, I'm going to mix it all together anyway, right? So I could either just, what do you guys think? I think I'm talking to you like I'm live, right? So what I'm going to do is just leave this as is, and then I'm going to transfer some into a bowl, a serving bowl, and then I'm going to top the salad with chickpeas and drizzle with some more dressing and do it that way. All right, so let's go ahead and get a bowl. All right, and so we're back. So I'm going to transfer some of the salad into a bowl just for some nice presentation here and some nice color. And we'll make sure we get some of those tomatoes and those onions and just put a little bit of it here. You know, it's just for presentation's sake. And of course, you guys know that I'm not going to eat all of this because I'm actually going to pair it with a protein that I'm going to show you here in just a few more seconds. So again, guys, like, share, and subscribe. And so now here are our chickpeas, and they're cooled down and nice and sort of brown and crisp. And so I'm just going to just layer them into the bowl here. And this is such a nice chickpea salad, guys. Such healthy, nice, light, different. You can even, you know, put hummus on this. You can do so many different things with it. But what I'm going to do is add some feta to keep in with that Middle Eastern slash, you know, Greek type of deal here, because I love feta cheese. And so I'm going to top it with some feta, just a few, not much, just for presentation. You can actually do it with a dollop of yogurt, even if you wanted to, some like Greek yogurt if you didn't want to do the feta cheese. And then you can also put it in a pita bread. How's that? They could turn it, the bread, and, you know, stuff the salad into a pita bread. That would be great as well, right? So I'm just going to take a few of the feta crumbles from here and make it look pretty. Look at that, guys. Isn't that pretty? Nice feta cheese. Not too much, just a few crumbles. All right, I'm gonna break that up because that's a big chunk. Put that back in there. And that's it, guys. Actually, that little piece for the chef. Yummy. And now you can opt to put just a little more of the dressing on there if you wanted to, or not. But, you know, I'm not going to put too much. I'm just going to drizzle just a little more, you know, and literally it's a drizzle. I'm actually dripping, drip, 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 drip. Hey, came through dripping. I think that's a song. Who wrote that song? But anyway, just a little bit of the dressing, not much. You want to watch the oil. Some people will opt to not use the oil. And there you have it. This is my homemade, easy, healthy chickpea salad, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you try this. If you try this, let me know how you like it. Do you like it? Do you love it? Look at that. I can't wait to try that. Now, I'm going to show you what I'm going to pair it with. I already had prepared it, and it's been sitting cooling. Let me show you what I opted to pair it with. This is some salmon that I cooked, and you know what? This is the seasoning, the seafood seasoning that turned it this brown reddish color, and I love that seafood seasoning, and I had it marinating. I actually had prepared my salmon and seasoned it and actually let it sit and soak, and so it's good and seasoned, and I like it when it's crunchy around here, around the edge of it. It's not burnt, it is just nice and what they say, caramelized. So I'm going to section some of it off here and add it to my salad. There we are. So I cut off a small piece of the salmon. Now, come on, Chef Stacy in the mix. Actually, Brooklyn Stace, the chef. Just call me Chef Brooklyn Stace. Guys, look at that. Once again, this is the chickpeas, little feta cheese, and the salad that I made. So this is a beautiful piece of wild caught salmon. This is so healthy, guys. Make sure you make a comment. Try this, guys. I promise you it's going to taste good. And it's an alternative way of eating. It's a healthy way of eating. And I love it, and you will too. So I just wanted to show you, this is the beautiful plate for presentation, but you guys know I can't eat all of this. So let me show you how my portion is going to, or what my portion is going to look like. Okay, so I'm going to get about 2 ounces. I already have my scale and my plate ready. So that's about what, 1.6, 1.5 ounces. Let's see if I can get another. I want to get to an even 2 ounces. So that's what, 2.3, not bad. I'll take 2.3 ounces. And then I'm going to take some of the actual chickpea and the salad. And you know, the cucumbers and salad, that can weigh a lot because it can be dense and heavy. So you see how quickly I already got to 4 ounces, and that's 4.3. And I'm going to have just a few more chickpeas, and there's 4.5. So that's my 4.5 ounces of food that I am going to eat, and I'm sure that's going to make me pretty full. And the rest will be for the next couple of days. But this, guys, is that VSG life. So I'm living the dream, right? And this is my way of life now, and I don't mind it. Eventually I'll be able to eat more, but for right now, this is what fills me up, 11 months post-op, and I'm okay with it. All right, so don't worry if you guys are out there wondering, oh my gosh, that's a little bit of food. Well, you know, it depends on how many meals you had. This will only be my second meal, so I may come back and get some more of the salad, or I may just opt to have, you know, some nuts as a snack, some mixed nuts, and, you know, just drink some water, and that's it. But this is what I'm going to be eating. So once again, I just wanted to come back and show you this is my real meal amount. All right, so once again, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care and be well. Bye-bye.